Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be filming another collection video. Today we are going to be doing my highlighter collection. This is going to be a very long video because I have a ton of highlighters. It is one of the bigger parts of my makeup collection and I feel like that's like saying a lot. I have filmed this video once before. Unfortunately, it was like really weird lighting, which you guys will see in a video I've done, and I complain about the lighting the whole time. And I went back and I watched the video where I was like swatching the highlighters and you can't even see them like 90% of the time. So I thought I would try and refilm it for you guys. Hopefully I can narrow this down a little bit. I'm going to get straight into it and stop rambling because otherwise this video is going to be really, really long. So the first thing we're going to talk about are kind of my more body highlighters. These are ones that are meant to not only go on your face, but kind of on your whole body. Just sort of, so like if you do a really dewy makeup look on your face, you can continue it down to your chest area. So I have two of these. So the first one that I have is the Natasha Denona Body Glow. Mine is in the shade Light. You would have seen me use this a couple times if you've been with me for any length of time when I tried my Natasha Denona Glow collection. This is a more expensive product, as all her products are, so I'm not too sure how worth the money it is, especially when I talk about the next product, but it is a beautiful, beautiful product. I will do a little swatchy. I have no sleeves on today, as you guys can see, so I can actually swatch this stuff properly. So this is what it looks like. It's a fairly liquid consistency, like kind of watery, which is fine because the whole point of it is you kind of want to blend it out over your chest area, and it looks like this. You guys see that? And then when you blend it out, it just gives you this kind of like all over a beautiful dewy sort of a finish. It does have for mine at least, it does have a little bit of a pink kind of tone to it, but absolutely stunning. Even if you just want to put it kind of across your collarbone, or you want to do your whole chest, or even your shoulders, it is a beautiful, beautiful product. It blends out lovely. You definitely do want to be careful when you're using stuff like this with your clothing, because it can sort of get on your clothes. I haven't had a problem with staining per se, but I have noticed it gets on my clothes, particularly on a day like today when I've got like a white tank top on. Is not a day that I would want to be playing with this. So the next thing that I have that is for your body, I have the MAC Strobe Body Lotion. Now, I have talked about MAC Strobe Cream for forever, and this I'm pretty sure is a similar, if not same formula. It might be a little bit more moisturizing, and obviously it's in a bigger bottle as the regular strobe creams, but this one is specifically marketed, as you can see, for the body. So I think because that this does cost more than a normal strobe cream, and I only have it. And now it would look like it's the pink light shade, but it's actually called Opal Light, and it is just meant for your whole body. And it does, so it's just white like all the other strobe creams are, but then I don't want to I'll put it here. I got to go get some wipes to make sure I can wipe this all off. But then when you put it on, it does have a little bit of like a pink kind of sheen. Definitely more subtle than this one, but still a beautiful effect. And I took way more when I did this one than this one, so you could work this one in. It feels very moisturizing. This one is a little sticky. It takes a while to tack down. This one kind of just melts into your skin. It's, like I said, very, very reminiscent of the Pink Light Strobe Cream that's for your face, but it is marketed for your body. So if you guys are interested in something like that, of the two, I would probably recommend this one, just because I think you're honestly probably getting more for the price, and I find that this one is a little bit more comfortable to wear. So staying along the line of strobe creams, I have two of the MAC Strobe Creams right here. I have got it in the Peach Light and also the Silver Light. They also market three other colors in Gold Light, Pink Light, which is the original, and Red Light, I believe. These are just the two I have. I've had Pink Light many, many times before. And it looks a lot like the body strobe cream that I just showed you guys. This one is the, oh my goodness, Peach Light. So like I said, when you put them, I'm just going to put them both on my finger at the same time. When you put them on just your finger or whatever, like you can't really see, it just looks like a white cream. So this one's the peach one and this one's the silver one. But when you blend it out, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. I hope so. This is the silver. You do kind of get like a more silvery kind of a gleam to it. And then the peach one has a lot more of those peach tones to it. And the same can be said of the other ones. The yellow one obviously has golden tones in it. The pink one has pink tones. And then the red one has red tones. And even you can kind of see just like on the cap, Do you guys see how this one kind of dries down silver and this one kind of dries down pink? So there's a lot of uses for these. If you didn't want to spend the money on the body cream as well as the face ones, I'm sure you could use this as a body cream. I know I definitely have. I also have super dry skin, so I like to use these underneath my makeup as kind of a moisturizer slash primer. And I've said it before a couple times that if I only had one makeup item to run and throw on my face, I would probably throw this because it's a moisturizer, but it gives you that beautiful dewy kind of skin. It works really, really well under most foundations. I have not found a problem with it yet, but I don't want to say all because obviously I haven't tried every foundation out there. Beautiful, beautiful products. And MAC, you know what's funny is I used to think MAC was super expensive, and then I started getting into all the other brands and I realized that MAC of the higher end brands is probably one of the more affordable ones. So I think that these are quite affordable. And if you're looking to try them, MAC is also really, really good about giving free samples. So if you go and you check it out and you're not too sure how you feel about it and you want to use it a couple times, ask for a little sample. It won't be a lot, but it should be enough to get you through 1 or 2 tries, and you can try it out like that. So the next ones I'm going to talk about are kind of my more gel highlighters. I only really have the 2. I have a lot that are kind of like in between a full liquid and a cream, but these are the only 2 that are marketed as gel highlighters, and they are my Marc Jacobs Dewdrops. These ones are the original. They are just in the shade 50 Do You, and these ones are in the shade 52, and it's called Fantasy. They're coconut dewdrops, coconut gels. These are fantastic. They are pricey, but they are so, so worth it. Like, I don't always love recommending super expensive things to you guys, but these are one of those things that I would say save your money. Now, I'm not too sure if you can still get the rose gold kind of one, but you can definitely still get the beautiful like champagne-y colored ones. These are phenomenal. I have worn it all over my face, and I don't recommend that unless you want to look really, really glowy, but these work beautifully as a highlighter, like a spot highlighter, so down your nose and your cupid's bow, up your cheekbones. Also fantastic for mixing with your foundation if you have like a matte foundation that you want a little glow to. These are stunning. I don't know how they work with all skin tones, but I know for me personally, they work wonderfully. I'm just going to put a little bit on a finger to show you guys what these look like. Now, I have actually not really used, oh shoot, this one, and you can kind of tell because it is getting a little bit chunky, whereas I use the other one all the time. Just try not to make it fall. So that's the rose gold, and that's the normal one. And I normally don't, but I'll swatch them down this hand because I want you guys to see. And I think the rose gold one, if you did have a deeper skin tone, like look at how beautiful that is, would look absolutely stunning on somebody with a deeper skin tone than my own. But if you are fair like I am, this is the way to go for sure. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I bought one for Megan. I meant to put one in the giveaway that I did, and I ended up not, because it was sold out when I tried to get it. But I would highly, highly recommend these. These are some of my favorite highlighters, and I love to look glowy, and I love to mix them in with my foundation as well, and they work beautifully. I, again, have not found a foundation that I have mixed this with where it hasn't worked or has separated or done anything weird with. So really, really great products. So sticking along the lines of those kind of jelly products, not jelly like Jelly, but like gel like Gel, like gel-like, I guess, products. I've got a bunch more that come in tubes here. So a couple of them you guys will have seen recently. They came in like subscription boxes. One are these Eddie Funkhauser Glow Drops. I believe they're in the color like Chandelier or something like that, but I honestly don't know because it doesn't say on it. I would have to go and look it up, and I don't really feel like doing that. These are really nice. They are, I'm just going to kind of show you. They are a little bit on the more watery side. Do you guys see that there? I only took a little bit. Kind of has like a pink sort of champagne-y color. Not the, like nothing compared to these ones, of course, but still a nice little subtle, especially if you're fair like I am. It does work fairly well with your makeup. The problem that I have with some products like this, and it's the same reason I don't really use these just for highlighting, is that I find with these gels, sometimes when you put them along your cheekbones, they kind of don't blend as well, and even when you blend them, you can still see the original line or the original dots that you put them on in, whereas down your nose I feel like that's kind of okay, because I know a lot of contouring and highlighting is meant to like accentuate your features, or I've heard of people who maybe have like a broken or a crooked nose using highlight and contour to kind of make their nose appear more straight. Same with your Cupid's bow. I find that you don't notice it quite as much as you do when you put it along here. It's a nice product. It's not one that I would overly recommend. I do think that there are better products out there like this if you are going to get one, but for the most part, I don't use a ton of these products. I prefer like the like creamier ones, like not like wet, but like creamy, or just powder ones. Next one is this one from Jelly Pong Pong Cosmetics. This is in the shade, again, I don't think it has a shade. It's just called All Over Glow Luminizer Gel. Another really, really pretty one that I really like. Very similar to the last one, but this one is a thicker consistency. But it gives you just another, like you could, I'm sure maybe you can see. So obviously a little bit more glowy, but very, very similar to the last one. It almost looks like I did it by accident over here, whereas I really did it over there. This one is a little bit easier to work with, blends out a little bit better, and which is weird because the other one is thinner, but I find that because it's thinner, it is harder to control, but this one is easier for placement. It's also a larger size. Again, not my favorite products, but if I were to pick either one of these, it would definitely be this one. And then I have got the three, I don't know if there's more than this. I picked up all three when they originally came out, the three Tarteist Pro Glow liquid highlighters. So they are actually, like, you can see, I can see the difference, and I'm hoping you guys can, but they are all very, very similar to each other. So I have Sparkler, Exposed, and Stunner. Again, these are nice products, but they are very difficult to work for, even for me. Not even for me, especially for me. So I'm just trying to make sure I know which one's on which finger. So, okay. Anyway, they're difficult to work with. I find that I don't ever reach for them, and when I do, I'm not always super jazzed about the way that the looks come out, which is okay, but I don't know. I think I've kind of passed the point of where I really enjoyed using these products. So on my fingers, I have got from here over, we're going to go Sparkler. This one is Exposed, and this one is Stunner. So even from here, you can probably see that they're all very, very similar. So I'll keep them in that order as I swipe them across my arm. And you'll kind of see what I mean by they're harder to work with. Maybe if you can see the consistency, like they are beautiful. They pick up a lot of reflection. One, they're all very, very similar. I don't need all three. And two, can you guys see kind of how thick they are? And I find that they kind of, like, any hairs or any makeup that you miss, it can clump it. It can just look really, really obvious that you've got that gel texture on. It doesn't blend seamlessly into your skin. And that just might be me. It might be user error, because I know there are obviously a lot of people out there that really, really enjoy these. These just aren't my favorite. Like I said, I would stay away from these and go more towards like a cream one or a more liquidy highlighter than this that would blend out a little bit easier. So speaking of liquid highlighters, we're going to kind of go over all of my drop highlighters, and you'll see what I mean by that as I go on. So the first two we're going to talk about, I talked about in a recent video when I did my Tutti Frutti collection. These are these Too Faced Fresh Squeezed highlighting drops. I have the ones in Sparkling Pink Grapefruit and Sparkling Pina Colada. Hoping you guys can kind of see them. So these ones are a little bit more pinky, these ones a little bit more golden. Much like the Marc Jacobs Dewdrops, I am just going to squirt a little itty bit of this on both hands and let it run down just so you guys can see what it looks like, and hopefully this won't go everywhere. A little bit there. Sorry, like the Marc Jacobs Dewdrops, I find that these actually, they were marketed that you can put them straight onto your skin. Or, so these are them here. I'm just going to let them run down so you guys can see. They're very, very glittery. So they're marketed to blend into your skin or to mix with your foundation. I actually have the, I believe the pink grapefruit one. No, I might have the sparkling pineapple one mixed into my foundation today just for a little subtle sheen. Nothing crazy, of course. They are very, very glittery, but glittery as in you can see that they're sparkly, but the glitter doesn't fall out everywhere because it is in a liquid solution. So I find that I don't really get glitter where I don't mean for it to be. To be honest, I've only really used them in the terms of like putting them into my foundations and mixing them in for a little bit of sparkle rather than using them to highlight, although I have done that a few times and it does work. That's just not my preferred choice of them. And these also smell fantastic. So the next ones I have are these two MAC Luster Drops. So I have these ones. These are in Pink Rebel. They've come out in a couple of collections. I think I bought mine in the Ellie Goulding collection, but I know they came out since. And this one is in Sunrush, and this one came out in the Juicy Fruity collection. I always want to say Fruity Juicy, because I always want to say Juicy Fruit like the gum, but I know that that's not it. So the Pink Rebel ones are a little bit more wearable for me. They do have a little bit more of a pink tone to them. And then the Sunrush ones are a little bit bronzier. I think kind of would look better on darker skin tone, to be completely honest, but I was in a phase where I bought everything from every collection, whether it was wearable for me or not. And I'm kind of still in that phase, but not so much. So these are the two here. So I'm just going to blend them out. So this one is the Pink Rebel. Really super, super subtle, beautiful. These meld absolutely, and there's that golden one. absolutely beautiful into the skin. It is ridiculous how well these work. So of all my liquid ones, these are probably my favorite ones because I don't know what it is. They just have this ability of blending so gorgeously without leaving like a super start. Like this one I didn't blend, but this one I did. There's no super harsh line of where it starts and where it ends. Just absolutely gorgeous. They don't muck up your makeup, which I find that some liquid highlighters do, not all, but some, where you put them on and they move your foundation around, or they, you know, clump up your bronzer or your powder or whatever it may be, and they don't work as well. But these ones are absolutely, absolutely lovely. Now, they're not permanent edition. They only put them out every once in a while with a collection, so you do have to keep an eye out for them. But if you see them, definitely get them. I would certainly advise it. So the next kind of dropper things we're going to talk about all of my Cover FX drops. So the first ones I have are these glitter drops. These are in the color Mirage. So these are like literally just glitter. And I actually have never really used these because I'm not a big glitter person. But when I filmed this video the last time, I was really, really pleasantly surprised by how much I liked them, because in the bottle, it looks like it's going to just be a hot glittery mess. But much like the Tutti Frutti ones, there's a lot of glitter in it, but it is contained to the liquid. So here, I'm going to just show you here. Do you see that? Do you see how absolutely stunning that is? Super gorgeous, like an ethereal, almost angelic look. Would I wear it every day? No, it is a super bold highlighter. But if I was going to go for something like this, this is one of the ones I would go for. It is absolutely stunning. And for anybody who's ever worked with Cover FX drops, you know how high quality they are. They are fantastic. They are pricey. So I would say wait for like a Sephora or an Ulta sale, or at Christmas time, sometimes they put out the little ones, which are obviously like only a portion of the size, but you can get a couple in a box and try a couple of shades out for not quite as much money as the big ones. So speaking of the big ones, this is the other one I have. This is Blossom. These are just normal Cover FX drops. And I like to, again, use these to mix with my foundations and just a standalone. So this one's a little bit more of a pinky kind of a tone right there. So, so, so pretty. I love these. It took me a long time to try these, but I heard everybody talk about them and I just never tried them because they were so expensive. And then I got into the phase where I just started trying all kinds of new makeup and I absolutely adore them. I'm just going to wipe off that MAC one just so I can continue with these down here so you guys can see. So I have 4 more and these ones all came in a set. So this one is Celestial. This one is one of my favorites. It's almost like a champagne-y kind of a color. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. Everything can't be champagne-y. But that is like a champagne-y pink, especially when you put it next to the other pink. I have a hard time actually saying pink. These ones are in Halo. They're kind of a more white and they've kind of got like a blue purple shift to them. These are ones I probably use the least of the 4, but super, super pretty. Do you guys see that? This one is a darker one. This one is in rose gold. And I don't know, I guess it's kind of a rose gold. Yeah, I could say it was. I was going to say it almost looks more coppery to me, but yeah, it is pretty rose gold now that I look at it. And the last one is in Moonlight, and these are super pretty. Now, I find that on the little ones, the dropper doesn't work very well, so I end up just kind of like, sorry, I'll just blend that out like that. So when I use these, I end up just like touching them to my skin and blending from there. Again, I have used these on my nose and stuff, but here it is a little bit more difficult unless you're willing to fuss with them, which oftentimes I am not. So now let's talk about these two because they are more liquidy than they are like gel or stick-like. These are my 2 Benefit ones. This is Sunbeam and High Beam. I honestly really enjoyed using these when I first got them, and I don't know if the product has turned or if I've just kind of gotten over them. They come in a bottle with like almost like a nail polish applicator. But I'm just not as jazzed by these anymore. Like I still really like the Sunbeam, but the High Beam is just kind of like meh. So I don't know. Like I just find like, and especially I've left the Cover FX on specifically for this reason. Look at the difference. Like they're pretty in a naturally kind of way, but like this one almost just makes my skin look wet. This one is obviously way too pink. And if I'm going to do something that crazy, I would want this much glow in it. So when you sit and you compare these to other products like the Cover FX drops, like the Marc Jacobs Dew drops, like even those Tarteist Pro Glows, there's not that much glow in there. That kind of just looks more wet than anything else. And it's super disappointing because at one point I really liked it. And I know that Sunbeam for sure, if not also High Beam, were super, super highly sought after products. And I just don't think that they're living up to the new highlighter game. I feel like highlights have gotten crazier and bolder and more glowy and more reflective. And those ones kind of just fell behind. Now, obviously, Benefit has put out other highlighters that are better, and those are older ones, but maybe they need to think about reformulating them, putting a little bit more reflection in them. Just my personal opinion. If you love them, you keep doing you, you keep using them. I've got a couple more, oopsies, of these like sort of liquid ones that have the like dabber on the end. So these ones are the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Halo in Halo Graphic. So these are another kind of like whitish one. They look white in the bottle, but it is a beautiful, beautiful pink. And if you can think back to the High Beam, kind of similar to that, to be completely honest, except there is more reflect in it, which I really, really like. And I like the formula of these. By the way, when I talk about highlighters, if I find that they don't stay on my face, I will mention that the staying power sucks. Other than that, just assume that it's fine or really, really good, because I don't mention it for everyone because I find that most of them are pretty good. But if there's some that are not so good or some that I don't think are very reflective, I will let you know. Anyways, I didn't pick this up. Mickey actually bought it for me, but it is Wet n Wild. So it is a drugstore brand. It is absolutely beautiful, and it is kicking the butt of that Benefit one for only a fraction of the price. So these are fantastic. I know they came in other colors, and I kind of wish I had a chance to get them, but we don't have a lot of Wet n Wild here unless I go to Walmart, and I don't really go there that often, to be completely honest. So I also have these 3 Naked Skin highlighters. I got really excited about these because of how much I love the Naked Skin foundation and concealer. And I was like, sweet, these are going to be great. And they're okay, but they're nothing super special. So I have them in Sin, Aura, and Fireball. And online, they looked a lot nicer than they do in person. So here they are. They are a nice product, but again, I just don't... I mean, they're really pretty. I just don't know if they were really like all I was looking for. Yeah, and that pink one, which is an Aura, is again so similar to so many others that I have that it's like I don't need all of them. I'll show you these. So these are the 3 right here. So I really like Sin, but Sin is also like my favorite color in a primer potion. And I like Fireball, but the middle one, Aura, is quite similar to this Wet n Wild one, just a little pinker, whereas this one has a little bit more purple to it. Really great products, and I did pick them up on sale. I did not pay, I forgot that I had these ones over here. I did not pay full price for them, so that is like a bit of like a okay, it's okay kind of thing. But again, I don't use them all that often because I don't use those kind of products. I prefer products like these where they are almost like a stick and you put those on and blend them out, like a creamy product rather than a full liquid, although these ones are not as liquid as some of the other ones I've talked about. This product I'm going to talk about now is a kind of segue into those stick ones because it is a dual-ended product. This is the Tarte Gleam Team Highlighter in Champagne. So it comes with a liquid side and also a cream side. I honestly don't use this that much, and I remember swatching it and actually being quite impressed with it. So that is the highlight. Again, though, quite similar to that Urban Decay one, like maybe a little peachier, but pretty darn similar. And then this is the other side of it, the cream side right there. And I feel like that reminds me a little bit of Benefit WhatsApp. I'm going to have to, not WhatsApp, that's an app I have on my phone, WhatsApp. So I'm going to put that one underneath so we can kind of compare the two and see how they're like really pretty. But honestly, I think I got this kind of like because I didn't know what else to get when I was doing my Tarte Pick 7 thing for like $40 and you get to pick a highlighter. And this was the one I chose just because I needed one, not because I really, really wanted it. So since I am talking about it, let's do the Benefit WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Somebody smack me if I do it again. And that we're going to just put right there. So another... Yeah, I mean, they're gosh darn similar. I definitely don't need both, which is good to know for when I finally do my declutter. And I do prefer this one just because I'm more used to it. Now, of the Benefit ones, this is the one to get if you're going to get one. Cult Classic. Again, highly, highly sought after. A lot of makeup gurus use it, and it is beautiful, and it blends really, really pretty into the skin. I love these kind of highlighters because I find that even though at first they look like a line, they do blend out easier because they are a thicker consistency. You don't see quite a stark line with them, also because of the way the applicator is. And this one's kind of unique in the sense that it has like a sponge tip on the other side so that you can blend out that cream application. Alrighty, so now I'm going to get into the rest of like my kind of cream stick products, of which there are quite a few because these are some of my favorite. The first one we're going to talk about is actually a MAC lipstick. I'm winded. I went to say hi to Tom and he's still on the phone, so I'll get him after. It's a MAC lipstick, and I've actually talked about it before, and it kind of happened randomly where I was like swatching some of the crazier colors that MAC had, being like, oh, when would you ever wear that, whatever. And I discovered that I really liked the way some of them looked as highlighters. So I picked up this one. This is in Soft Hint. It is a frost lipstick, and it is blue, as you can see. I picked it up because I don't have any blue tone highlighters, and I just thought it was really, really pretty. So it looks just like this. I'm winded. And I know that the frost ones in like the yellow and the silver and the gold look quite similar, and the pinks are also beautiful. Really, really pretty. Lots of staying powder, and actually surprisingly blends out beautifully well considering it is a lipstick and this is not its main purpose. Just goes to show that if you see something like that you think, oh, maybe I could use that for this or whatever, give it a try. You never know how it will go. I found a similar experience when I bought that Natasha Denona All Over Glow in the deeper color that I was able to use it as a bronzer. Just a thought, go check out different lipsticks and different products and see what you can repurpose into something else. Next product we're going to talk to is one that really confuses me. This is a Ciate Dewy Stick, and it came in like a Sephora Favorites highlighter bundle, but it's not a highlighter. It's literally a clear, like, I'm going to put it here just because I don't want to waste space. It's literally just a clear dewy balm. Like, can you guys see that? So I don't know, it makes you look dewy and almost sweaty, but there's no color to it. There's no reflect in it. There's no pigmentation, nothing. Just super boring. And like, again, if you're looking for something like this, I don't know. I just think that there's better products. I think you could find a dewy foundation that was dual purposed as opposed to picking up a clear dewy stick that looks a lot like Vaseline or like a lip balm. Just a personal opinion. I never use this and I never will. Next, we're going to talk about the 4 Milk makeup highlighters that I have. Now, I have them all in minis. This one came in that same package that the Ciate Dewy Stick did. And these ones I picked up because I really like the way they look, but I didn't want full-size ones. I wanted to give a shot to the small ones, so I went this route. Another good option if you're trying to try out new highlighters, and they do come in smaller sizes, much like the Cover FX ones. A good opportunity to pick them up is in a small size, just to make sure you do like the product before you commit to a full-size buy. And oftentimes, if you're like me, you have enough makeup that these will last you almost as long as the big ones would anyways. Alrighty, so the first one is in the shade Lit, and this is kind of the least, like, highlighty of I was going to say 3, but I have 4 of them. It is still really, really pretty, but it's just nothing, oh, crap. Sorry, I just got all over myself. Nothing overly special. It looks just like this. Oh, it's actually quite pretty. Again, kind of reminds me of that Benefit What's Up, which I think is a little bit more glowy than this is. Sorry, the sun's starting to go down, so I'm hoping you guys can still see this. If not, I'll have to finish this tomorrow, but I'm going to try and power through it. So that's that one there. And then the other 3 that I have are in the colors Stardust, Supernova, and Mars. And I do say on the bottom, directions apply to cheekbones, lips, and eyes can be applied to bare skin or makeup. So I don't know if that matters. But yeah, so I'm just going to put them all on and then I'll show you them because it's just a little quicker. So these are really, really nice products. They are very, very creamy. The colors are beautiful. But again, they're not my favorite of these kind of a highlighter. I do prefer the Too Faced ones. I find that these ones are a little almost too soft, if that makes any sense. And it takes a lot of passes to get, like I'll try and show you with this one to get some really good color. Do you kind of see what I mean? Whereas the other ones are super, super bold and fun. This one is truly barely doing anything. You can kind of see it there, but nothing particularly special. I'm actually going to try and set up another light to see if I can get a little bit more glow here. Give me 2 seconds to see if I can get that to work. Otherwise, I might have to halt this till tomorrow. Alrighty, so you'll notice that I have a lot more light now. Hopefully it's not too bright. I kind of like the way that it looks. You can definitely see those milk ones a lot more now. And upon further inspection, I do think that this one actually surprisingly shows up a lot better than this one here, which is in the shade Mars, but still super, super pretty. Definitely look very glittery, but again, not a ton of fallout, and they do blend really, really beautifully out as well. Also, if you hear a lot of loud talking in the bathroom, not the bathroom, the background, Tom's on the phone and he's kind of a loud person. If you can't tell, I don't know if you guys can hear him. I know I can hear him, but I'm hoping it's not carrying over onto this. So we're going to talk now about my favorite highlighters. This is my favorite formula, even probably over most powder ones. And those are the Too Faced like glow stick highlighters. So I have got 3. One came out in the I Want Candy collection. It is the Candy Glow. It is so beautiful and it smells fantastic. It smells just like candy. And then these 2 came out in the Tutti Frutti collection. So one is in, I think, Pink Lemonade. Yeah, Pink Lemonade highlighter stick and Strawberry Sparkle. So I'm going to show you guys all of these now. These ones smell like lemonade and like strawberries, just in case you're wondering. So that there is the Candy Glow. It is absolutely stunning. I even have a backup of it because I was under the impression that it was limited edition, and then I was able to get it like a long time after I got the original one. So I don't really know what the status of it is, but I didn't really want to take a risk. This one here is the Pink Lemonade one. Definitely much more glittery than this one. This one almost has more of like a frosty kind of a finish. This one definitely has some glitter in it. And then this third one is in Strawberry Sparkle. Hoping you guys can see that. There we go. Absolutely gorgeous. These blend out beautifully. I like my light shifted. I'm hoping it didn't shift too much. What I really, really like about these is that because they have the edge, you can use them to do the line down your nose and in your Cupid's bow, but they're still fat enough, thick enough that you can get a beautiful, beautiful line up your cheekbone and blend it out beautifully. These blend so, so well, and other highlighters lay fantastically on top of them as well. So now I'm going to talk about the rest of my cream highlighters, and these ones all kind of come in like pots. I don't use these as much because I'm not a big fan of putting on, I don't know why, putting it on my finger and then blending it in. I would rather do a direct application to my face, particularly for creams, because I find that you lose a lot of the pizzazz when you touch them with your fingers and then try and rub them on. But having said that, they are still really nice. So this first one is this Laritzi Cosmetics Dew Pot Illumination in Glory. I originally thought that this was a like paint pot primer for your eyes, but turns out it's not. It's kind of like a really deep, dark, golden, coppery almost, just put it right there, highlighter. And it is really pretty, but it's definitely too dark for somebody of my skin tone. And I'm not a big fan of the consistency. It is quite thick, and it's very sticky, and I find that it just doesn't blend out the best. I don't know if other people have had better luck with this. Maybe, again, if you've got a deeper skin tone than I do, because this is way, way, way too dark for me. And I'm sure you guys can see that too. So that is not one that I would overly recommend. Same with these, surprisingly enough. I have a couple of the MAC color bases, cream color bases, and I got them kind of with the intention of using them as a cream highlighter. This one I picked up in the Vibe Tribe collection. This is in Yellow Topaz, and it's sort of like, again, this like beautiful, beautiful golden color, but it loses a lot of its intensity once it's on the face because you blend it out and then you put stuff over it. I don't know. It's pretty, but I never reach for it anymore. I find that makeup today has become more of a thing of like, it's fun to play with every once in a while, but for everyday wear, it's more of a convenience thing. What's the most convenient thing? And these are not the most convenient, so they kind of escape my everyday collection. And the last 2 that I have are in the colors Hush and Shell, and these are the 2 right here, and they are gosh darn similar. I don't know if you guys can see that. Super, super similar to each other. Again, I will swatch them here. Really, really pretty, but nothing particularly special. I know that MAC has a lot more than just these 2, and they are really, really pretty products, but again, I'm never reaching for them, so maybe for me, it's time to let them go. I don't know. That's going to be a decision I'm going to have to make at a later date when I've played with them again, because I honestly have not touched those in probably over a year, if I'm completely honest. They made it through my last declutter with my whole thing of saying, like, I'll definitely try it, and then I never did. And then we're going to talk about this really, really quickly. This is the City and Color Glow Duo. I don't even know what the color is, if this is the only one that comes with, but it has a cream and also a powder highlight. This, I really enjoyed this when I first got it. It came in a subscription box, but to be completely honest, again, I never use it now. I like this one much more than the other ones. I find that this one is a lot more pigmented, is a lot softer to use, and just has a bit more of a color payoff. If you guys can see that, really, really pretty highlighter. And then I will swatch the powder one, even though I'm going to get into those later. This one feels like butter, but it is a very, very dark, kind of like coppery, almost golden color. Again, might be just a little bit too dark for me, but still really, really pretty. Really quickly before I get into the heart of my collection, which is of course the powder highlights. They are the ones that are the most prevalent on the market these days. We're going to talk about my loose highlighters really, really quickly. Again, ones I don't use super, super often because they are a little more difficult to work with. You're worried about a mess maybe, a little bit more finicky, but are still really, really pretty. So these two are both ColourPop ones. They came out in the Shayla collaboration. So I have them in Boomin' and Pose. So one's kind of more of like a gold and one's almost more of a copper, kind of a bronze color. I'll just get a little bit for you guys here. Now, one thing I will say is these do chunk up quite a bit, and there is a lot of glitter in this, so you are going to experience fallout because it is a powder. And sorry, not just a powder, like a loose powder. Really soft though, as you kind of would expect. So these are the two colors here. And let's just put them like here. So those are the two right there. Again, really, really pretty, but like it's all over my pants already. I don't know if I would use a brush for this because I feel like you would just, like, I have tried to use it with a brush and I feel like you just lose a lot of the product because like you're putting it on the brush and then you're, you know, dusting and it just goes everywhere and it falls off the brush. So I think the safest way to do these is with your fingers, which is a little bit messy and a little bit tedious. And the third one that I have is this MAC one. This came out with all their Hyper Glow stuff. This is in golden bronze. They have another one, which is super, super pretty. Now, I think at first I thought that this was a setting powder, but I definitely could not use it as a setting powder. It definitely is a highlighter or maybe a bronzer, and I might have been supposed to get the lighter shade because I am a little fair. So this is it right here. I'm going to put it next to the other two just so we can see the difference here. So that's the one on the bottom. Really, really pretty. All three are absolutely gorgeous. These two are almost quite similar to each other, but still really, really pretty. Again, ones I don't use all the time because they are a little bit more of a pain to work with, but really pretty if you're willing to take the work to do them. Alrighty, so the rest of my collection is all powder highlighters. I'm going to kind of try and do it more by brand because the majority, as you can see, are MAC ones, and a lot of these ones are limited edition as well, but I'm going to show you them anyways just to get the full rounded out of my collection. Some are definitely still available, most are not, but I'll try and tell you which ones I know are limited edition or at least think are limited edition, but we're going to get to those in a minute. Let's talk first about the other brands that I have that are not MAC. So the first one I have is this Morphe one. This is in the color Spark. It is like one of the ones that I got in my Ipsy bag. I'm actually wearing it on my face today. It is really, really beautiful, very, very subtle, kind of almost like champagne. I say this so much, champagne-y kind of color. It's just right there. Really, really subtle, blends in really well with your skin. Which is nice. It's nice to have some highlighters that are a little bit more wearable, that look a little bit more natural than some of the crazy ones that I have. So for that reason, I do really, really like this. It's very, very soft, very beautiful. I haven't done a total wear test yet. This is one of the first times I've worn it. So I will let you guys know when I do my Ipsy review in a couple days. I'm sure that I will tell you guys now, I did not renew my Ipsy, and that video might already be up before this, where I will talk about it. So, but I will, like I said, review the products that I got in last month's Ipsy just so that I kind of like close that off and open another chapter of subscription box heaven. So the next one we're going to talk to, another one-off that I have, is this Wet n Wild highlighting powder. It's a Mega Glow powder. This is in the shade Precious Petals. I absolutely love these. I had two at one point and I gave one away just because I had something quite similar to it. But this is absolutely gorgeous color. It's just right there, the lower one. I'm hoping that this isn't getting washed out too much. but I wanted it to be able to pick up some light. So really, really beautiful. Again, really soft, definitely worth the price point. I don't know how much the Morphe one's worth because I've never been to a Morphe store. I've never purchased anything Morphe for myself. I've only got the one palette, and that's from Mickey. But a really, really, this Wet n Wild one is a really, really beautiful one and definitely comparable to that one, I would say. Next one I have that's a one-off is this Natasha Denona Glow one. Mine is in the shade Light. It's an all over the face kind of glow powder. And you could use it on your body as well. Another super subtle one. Like it almost looks like nothing when you put it on. It's just that one there. It's just meant to give you a not a sun-kissed, a light, glowy, kind of dewy sort of a look. Really, really pretty if you're looking, again, for a subtle kind of highlight. Next one I have is this Too Faced one. Again, I used to have two of these ones, but I got rid of the pink one. Now I only have Love Light. I think the other one was in... No, this one is Blinded by the Light. I think the other one was Ray of Light. I got rid of that one, but I kept this one because I thought it was more unique and just a little bit prettier. Because I had another one that was very, very similar to the pink one. Oh my goodness, I almost just lost it all. So that's it there. A really, really pretty, really soft, really, really good pigmentation. There was nothing wrong with the pink one. I just preferred another one I had over it when I decluttered last year. And if you're keeping an eye out for my declutter series, it will be a while. I'm planning on filming it in December because I kind of like to do it at the end of the year, almost like a New Year's resolution thing, so I can start the new year fresh with less makeup. Next couple we're going to talk about are these two Bobbi Brown ones. These are in Bronze Glow and Pink Glow. These are really pretty as well, but I find that I don't use them all that often because as beautiful they are in the pans, this is Bronze Glow and Pink Glow, as beautiful they are in the pans and as soft as they feel when I touch them and I swatch them, for whatever reason when I put them on, I'm just not super jazzed by them. But again, they look literally like melted gold and whatever on me. It's these two right here. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to have to give them another chance. This one is quite similar, I would say, to that Wet n Wild one. They both have a very, very pinky kind of color. So maybe when I'm doing a declutter, I'm going to have to keep that in mind and pick which one I like more. And I'm going to try and make a habit of not keeping ones just because they're high-end and expensive. I'm really going to try and keep the one I do prefer. Next two that I have are these two Makeup Forever ones. So one is... These don't have names, but I can tell you that one is like gold and one is silver just from my memory of them. Just trying to get them both open. Okay. So like I said, this one's almost like a pinky silver and this one's kind of like a bronzy gold color. Really, really pretty. These are their Pro Light Fusion highlights. Again, I think I bought these around the same time that I picked up those two Bobbi Brown ones because I was looking to try new highlighters and I couldn't decide on color. So again, we're in another kind of one of those like similar families where there's like a whitish one and a gold one, but these are absolutely stunning. This very similar to that Too Faced one, just a little bit more pink to it, and absolutely stunning. The pigmentation of these is phenomenal. They feel amazing on, and like everything else that I've talked about, more or less, they last for a Okay guys, good news, I didn't break it. They last for a really long time. Now we're going to talk about my ColourPop ones. I have 5 of them. These ones they feel very, very similar to like the Super Shock Shadows, super buttery, super creamy. Problem being with these that, again, I find them easier to put on with a finger, and I do find the same thing of the Super Shock Shadows. For whatever reason, when I pick them up on a brush, I just find I don't have as much control over them and I don't get as much pigmentation because I'm losing a lot of it to the brush. I don't know if ColourPop meant for it to be this way, but I find that they do apply a lot better with your fingers. And the other thing I will say, of this one particularly, now that I'm looking at it, you'll see that this one's cracked all the way down the middle. It was shipped to me this way. These are super, super soft products and they break very, very easily, which is a pain in the butt, but they're very, very inexpensive. I think they're only like $8 maybe. And they're so soft that you can push them back together and it's not a big deal. So this first one is in Hippo. I'm going to show them all to you on my fingers and then I'll swatch them down my arm so you can kind of see how they transfer over. So this one is in Butterfly Beach. It's that one there. You guys will see as I do it, it's like dipping your fingers in like liquid highlight. They feel liquid or cream, but they're powder. They're just amazing if you've never tried them. This is in Flexitarian. Again, breaking. Oh, I just hit a huge chunk in it. That's okay. That's that one. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I kind of fudged my swatches, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Try not to touch my face. This one is in Most Necessary. This is the darkest one I have of them. It's like a pinkish, orangish, coppery kind of color. Really difficult to do this when you have like all 4 fingers swatched with something. It's really hard to open other packaging. And this last one is in Honeymoon. And it's almost like a white blue kind of color. I'm going to do it with my thumb, even though that's super weird. So those are them. So Hippo on top. Oh gosh. Butterfly Beach, Flexitarian, Most Necessary, and Honeymoon. Those are them there. So really, really pretty. Honeymoon's definitely like the most blah, and oh my goodness, Flexitarian is just absolutely stunning, but really, really beautiful. Like I said, they feel almost like a cream product, but they are marketed as a powder. I think they're called, are they called Super Shock? Yep, Super Shock Cheeks. And I think that they make blushes like this too. So these ones are called Pearlized, just in case you're wondering, in case you're shopping. Next ones we're going to talk about have a very, very similar feel to them. These are the Physicians Formula Muru Muru Butter Highlighters. These are fairly new to my collection. I have picked up 3. They come in 4 shades. So I've got Champagne, Pink, and Rose Gold. So I'll just swatch them all for you and I'll kind of show you them. So this is the Champagne. These are a similar consistency. I find that they do kick up a lot of glitter. I found that I had a lot of glitter over my face in places that I didn't intend for it to be. Again, I don't know if that's just these products, if it was me, if I was having an off day, whatever, or if other people have had that problem as well. But these are, I picked these up on sale, so when I got them, they were $12.99 each. I don't remember how much that they are normally, but sales are always kind of the way to go. So these are the 3 here. Absolutely stunning, super, super soft. Now we're going to talk about my Becca highlighter. So I have 2 of the normal ones of the Shimmering Skin Perfector, whatever. I have them in Opal and Champagne Pop. I absolutely adore these. I think they're just stunning. I'll just kind of show you what they look like. So this one is Opal. Again, when you swatch them, they just swatch like almost like a liquid highlighter. They're absolutely gorgeous. This one is Champagne Pop. These are them here. Absolutely stunning. I absolutely adore these. And there they are there at the bottom. Now, surprisingly enough, they do have a little less pop than these Physicians Formula ones, but I'm kind of okay with that. Particularly the Opal one I got as more natural highlighter because I am fairer. I didn't really like the Pearl one, but that one I was a really big fan of. And then the rest of the Becca ones I have are all the Light Chaser highlights. These are not available anymore as far as I know. I sort of picked them all up when they were discontinuing them, and I am so... How did I get highlighter all the way up there? Guys, I'm a mess. That's like glitter highlight too. I don't know how that got up there. Anyway, these are absolutely stunning. And I am so, so, so disappointed that I know Sephora for sure isn't carrying them anymore. And I know that I had to order them through Mickey off of like, I don't remember if I got them off the Becca website, but I think I might have. And yeah, like they're discontinued and it breaks my heart that they are. So if you can find these somewhere, pick them up because they are so amazing. This first one is in Opal Flashes Jade. It's like that there. So it's got an opal and it's got a little bit of like almost like a greeny purple tone to it. This next one is in Champagne Dream Flashes Bellini. So this is the peachy kind of one. It's that one. Next one is Rose Quartz Flashes Seashell, and it's the kind of like light pink one. Right there. Next one is in Topaz Flashes Gilt, and this is like the crazy golden like one. I don't even know really what I would say it flashes, almost like greeny. That's super, super pretty. I'm just trying to get some of it off my fingers so I can give proper swatches. This one is in Pearl Flashes Gold. So beautiful, beautiful yellow. This actually reminds me of another one that I have that I haven't talked about quite yet. And the last one that means is Amethyst Flashes Geode, and this one is dark. It's the only highlighter I have like this though, so I'm kind of okay with it. So yeah, if you guys can kind of see the colors, it's almost like purple, blue. It's almost the colors of the rainbow because this one has a little green in it, yellow. These are absolutely beautiful. And they are tiny, tiny, tiny. And that breaks my heart because I feel like I'm going to use them up and I'm never going to be able to replace them. Thankfully, I do have a backup of my Opal Flashes Jade because I knew that they were discontinuing them, because that one is my favorite and the one I wear the most often. But like I said, if you get the chance to get your hands on these, especially now because I would assume that they would be like on a clearance kind of a price, I urge you to get them. They are so, so, so fantastic, you guys. They are probably some of, if not, no, just some of my favorite highlighters. Not my favorite, but some of. Now we're going to get into the rest of them. I'm going to talk about the rest that are not MAC, and then I have 4 more that aren't MAC, and the rest are all MAC. So the first one is one that Mickey got me. It is an Etsy highlighter. It's a Make Up Your Mind Cosmetics in Fame and Fortune. And this is the one I was saying is kind of like that Becca one. It is this beautiful, beautiful, like yellow color. Like it's not even gold. It is like almost like pure yellow. It is so, so, so stunning. Like absolutely gorgeous. Just right there. A really, really unique color. I would say I don't have any highlights like this, but that's actually not true anymore. But when I got it, it was so, so, so unique to my collection. And I absolutely adore it. The next ones I have, you guys have seen me talk about recently. These are these Kat Von D Metal Crush highlighters. And that's why I said I don't have any. I now have one like it because I think that this one is a little bit like this. So this one is in Gravitron. These are intense highlighters, like lots of glitter. They look almost like creamy in the pan. And for whatever reason, this one kind of is a lot more chunky than the other ones. So there's the two together. Do you guys see how it's almost like chunky glitter? The other two are not quite like that. So I don't know why that one is, if I just got like a bad batch or if the formula for that color is different. But it's just not as good as this one, which is in Gamma Ray. And this one is my favorite. It's this beautiful, beautiful peach color. This is the first one that I ever got. Again, these are intense highlighters. They are very, very glittery, very, very bold. They come in 2 other colors that I don't have, like a blue and a pink, but I stuck to the 3 most wearable ones, and this one is in Gold School. Absolutely gorgeous. Do you guys see that? Oh, maybe that's the one I was thinking of. That's very similar to it. None of them really are, though. This one kind of stands on its own, but these are absolutely stunning. That one, I don't know why it's chunky, but really, really great products, and I think that they're fairly new, to be completely honest. Now we're going to talk about all of my MAC ones. I'm going to try and do my best to get them all swatched down my arm, although that is going to be a little bit difficult because there are a ton of them. So let's talk about my mineralized skin finishes first, because those are the most popular ones that they put out. So of course I have like the old tried and true. This is my MAC Soft and Gentle. This is one of my favorites. It is beautiful. It is soft. It is creamy. It is absolutely stunning. Every time I seem to loan out a highlighter, this is the one that people want. This is the one that everybody gravitates towards. I don't know why that is, because there are other ones that are just as beautiful, but even I find myself constantly reaching for that one. This one is in Global Glow, and I think it's almost more of like a bronzery shade for me, because it is super, super dark as a highlighter, but really, really pretty color. At one point I had all of the mineralized skin finishes, and then I think on my last like declutter, I got rid of all of them. And now I've picked up a couple more. So this one is in Warm Aura. So I think you can use it as 4 standalones, or you can mix it. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like mixed together. It's like a beautiful, beautiful pinky kind of color. I absolutely love these. They are so creamy. They look so natural on, and the wear power, like the stay power of these is just phenomenal. And this one is in Nuanced. It's kind of like a peachy one. Those are them there. Very, very, other than this one, they are all very, very natural looking. Just threw some stuff on the floor. So now I'm going to talk about some of my extra dimension skin finishes. So some of these are limited edition, like this one. This is my Mimi. This came out in the MAC Mariah Carey collection, and it is honestly way too gold for me. I'm more or less just keeping it because of what it is. And I like it because I've swatched it a few times and I haven't quite lost the image on top yet, which is nice, but look at how dark that is. My arm is so glittery. It's just this one right here. Super, super dark. Again, not one I'm probably going to get a lot of use out of. So I have to decide if I'm keeping it really just for the collector in me, or if I should really get rid of it. But right now we're going to keep it. This next one is in Whisper of Guilt. Came out in the holiday collection last year. Absolutely stunning, stunning color. Next one, these are all Extra Dimension skin finishes. Came out a couple years ago in the Christmas collection. This is Shaft of Gold. Again, this is a little bit dark, and at one point I was using this as a bronzer. So that's that one there. Next one I have is called Oh Darling, and I do believe that they're actually re-releasing this in the Christmas collection, which I might get because the packaging is really, really pretty. Looks like this. These ones are all permanent, by the way. This one is in Show Gold. Double Gleam. Beaming Blush. This one's kind of like a little pinkier toned. Superb. And Soft Frost, I believe, is my last one. This one's kind of like a white one, kind of like that Wet n Wild Halo one I have, but a powder. So those are all of the Extra Dimension skin finishes that I have. Now we can talk about the rest of them that I have, and all of the rest of them I'm going to talk about are limited edition, just as an FYI. So the first two that I have are these face powders. They're called Opalescent face powders. They came out in the same Christmas collection. They're in Here Comes Joy and Go Dazzlingly. Again, I never, ever, ever use these, but they are so pretty. So these are the two here. Just right there. Very, very, very subtle, these two. If you're looking for ones that pack more of a punch, I would definitely recommend the Extra Dimension skin finishes over most of the other ones. So this is a Pearl Matte face powder. It came out in the Fruity Juicy collection. It's called Oh My Passion. And like you blend the colors all together and it just gives you the coolest, like almost like pinky brownie with like weird shift to it right there. Kind of reminds me of that Milk makeup stick in Supernova, might have been the color. Stardust. So sorry. And then the last three that I have are these Trip the Light Fantastic powders. These came out in the Star Trek collection a couple years ago, and these are the most beautiful. Like, they look like little planets. And the best thing about them is I've actually used them quite a bit, and even as you blend it all together, you don't lose that swirl pattern, which is great. So this one is in Luna Luster. They do have a little bit of a glitter to them as well. Okay. Next one is in Strange New Worlds. And the last one is in Highly Illogical. So those are the three there, and I will swatch them. 1, 2, 3, just across the bottom. Not a ton of pigmentation, and they almost look like they were made for like a light, medium, and a dark skin tone, but really, really beautiful, especially for the collector in me. So that is like it's not that many. I'm like, so that's all my highlighters, no big deal, like a 60-minute video or whatever. But that is all my highlighters. If you guys know of other highlighters that I should be trying, let me know down below. If you guys have had better experiences with some of the highlighters that I have, let me know. And if you guys are interested in any of them or have questions about any of them, also ask me down below. I want to hear what your favorite highlighters are, what your go-tos are, because now you guys pretty much know mine. So that is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.